What's up, y'all?
Blizzard's launch of Diablo Immortal has everybody all hot.
Hotter than the pair of speakers I bought today off the back of a truck.
Because of its out-of-control pay-to-win system that completely takes over all of the mechanics of the game. The problem is, it seems like that's all anybody wants to talk about. Even finding strategy videos can be a little difficult just because of the huge wave of hate washing over Blizzard right now.
Hate.
But just so you know, Blizzard doesn't care about this at all. They aren't even paying attention to it, because it doesn't matter. Diablo Immortal is already a huge success, and will be Blizzard's best-selling game of all time when it is all said and done. The market for mobile gaming is bigger than even the numbers say. I guarantee you the numbers for the amount of people playing mobile games are underestimated, simply because of things like VPNs, and tracking blocking software, and other things that could disguise a mobile gamer and not show them as active when they are gathering player numbers. But something funny seems to be going on here, because if you search for the development cost for Diablo Immortal, or you try to search for how much money the game has made so far, you're just flooded with people's videos and articles about how bad the pay-to-win is. This might just be my conspiracy brain.
Paper towels are just tall toilet paper.
He's got the truth twitch.
But this might have been a strategy by Blizzard to make the pay-to-win so insane that it would take over all conversation about the game, and any other little problems the game had would just be washed under the rug because of it.
I don't want to hear about your damn problems. Everybody got problems.
After searching for a while, I did find an article that said Diablo Immortal has already made $14.5 million just in its first week, just on mobile. Speaking of mobile, that brings me to my main point. I know Blizzard has Call of Duty Mobile, but I would argue that that game doesn't translate as well to mobile as a game like Diablo does. FPS games like that require real strict precision, and honestly quite a lot of practice with a controller, keyboard and mouse, touchpad, whatever you choose to use as your controller. It's gonna take a lot of practice to get good. Ain't no way you're just gonna hop on your phone and kick ass like this Noah guy here. Shout out to Noah from YouTube. You are one hell of a boss on a tablet playing an FPS. You'd kick my ass if I was using keyboard and mouse, bro. Good job. But not on Diablo Immortal. You'll get good in 5 minutes. And the best part, and main reason this will be the best seller, is because this game plays on even older mobile phones, with frame rates as good as my high-end PC. So if you really think about it, no other game in Blizzard's lineup is capable of attracting players from this many different platforms, especially mobile. Everybody has a phone.
You can play on your tablet too.
This is the first time a Diablo title has ever been available, not exclusively on PC or on PC and console. Not only that, it's actually a good experience on mobile. I could totally see this dragging in a whole new audience for Diablo that doesn't mind the pay to win as much as other people do. I kind of don't think people understand how big of a deal this is and why this is going to make it really popular. It's just like back when World of Warcraft came out. Half the reason World of Warcraft was popular is because it would run on lower end PCs. So it opened the door to a whole new audience that didn't have the highest end PC but still wanted to play games. The same thing is happening now with Diablo Immortal in the mobile market. Because everybody already has a phone, it just opened up millions of doors that were never opened up before for a Diablo audience. So in my opinion, it looks like Blizzard hit their mark. They did exactly what they were planning on doing with this game. This game was not made for gamers, obviously. Just look at the BlizzCon from 2018.
Current plan is to be on mobile, both Android and iOS.
When they mentioned it was going to be mobile only,
we don't have any plans at the moment to do PC.
Everybody started crying. They got all defensive on stage.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
And I think ever since then, they've been like, F those guys, we're going to give them the worst PC port for this game ever, and it's going to run great on mobile. And that's exactly what it does. Because it's actually a really good mobile game, it gathers that mobile audience for Diablo. And this mobile audience doesn't complain about these pay-to-win systems. They don't really care.
I don't give a fuck.
And that mobile audience is probably many times bigger than the PC or console audience. I'll bet if they didn't even have PC players, they'd still be making money hand over fist with this game. And if you play this game on mobile and on PC, you'll notice it in a second. that this game was built for mobile. It was not built for PC. I think my first clue was just the very first screen you see when you load up the game. They didn't even bother to change it from tap to play to click to start or something. They just left it. The PC version has tons of other problems too. I had it crash on me more times than I care to remember in just my 6 hours of playing. And I had this weird problem where I couldn't pick up items with the mouse. Every time I'd click on them, nothing would happen. And I would have to minimize the game and maximize it again, and then it would work. Just tons of little weird issues like that on PC. But absolutely none of those on my old Samsung Galaxy Note 8 phone I was running the game on. My old ass phone ran it perfect. Now, if that doesn't prove who they wanted as their audience for this game, then I don't know what will. Because even when they first announced this game at BlizzCon 2018, they announced it as just a mobile title. They had no plans to put it on PC.
We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC.
The monstrous market of mobile gamers out there is full of people who don't think of pay-to-win mechanics as a bad thing necessarily. This crowd is also much more likely to spend money on a game than a PC or console player would be. In my opinion, this is all due to how each gaming platform conditions its players with certain habits. For example, PC gamers historically have not had to deal with a lot of microtransactions in their games, at least up until the last few years. So when that started, they all noticed because it took away from the experience they were having with the game before. But mobile gamers, on the other hand, don't really know the difference because mobile games have always had this style of monetization to them. So the gaming experience on mobile has never changed enough to have its users notice. So they don't really complain.
Thumbs up their asses.
Now, in my opinion, this is the exact crowd Blizzard wants. They want those dirtbags who are allergic to money. They can't get rid of it fast enough. The kind of people who would
stand under a cold shower and tear up $100 bills.
Why wouldn't you want the crowd of gamers that's many times the size of your PC crowd or your console crowd, and they don't mind your pay-to-win crap that you're loading the game up with?
Oh, the things you can buy with a handful of bills. It makes me excited. It gives me the chills.
Part of me also thinks a little bit of this has to do with the merger going on between Blizzard, Activision, and Microsoft and all that. I kind of just feel like the devs and the higher-ups just said, screw it, let's see how much we can milk Diablo Immortal.
I need the milk. I'm uncoordinated. I'm allergic to bees.
And now that it's released, all they have to do is periodically release new 5-star legendary gems and other random content for those whale cucks out there, and they will continue to consume it all up like the cockroaches they are.
I buried those cockroaches!
And support Blizzard's next disappointing sequel. At this point, there's no way I'm even gonna try Diablo 4. It's gonna just be a cookie-cutter version of this same exact thing, with hopefully better PC gameplay. But if the character building mechanics are this simple, or even if they're anything like Diablo 3's character building, I don't want any part of it. It's stuff like that that proves to me Blizzard just doesn't know how to make a good ARPG with depth anymore. Leveling up a character and placing skill points and attribute points is what puts the R in ARPG. Without the uniqueness to your character build, you're just a cookie cutter of the dude next to you. If I can just pick or choose from the same list of 10 skills that every other barbarian has, and I can switch them out as I please, how the f am I any different than the guy next to me, other than just the random items I find? So unless Diablo 4 is some 10 universes different than the last couple Diablo titles, it's just going to be more AAA pay-to-win dick cheese. If I sound bitter right here, it's probably because I honestly am. I put at least 10,000 hours into Diablo 2 during my high school years and some years after that. I built at least 8 level 99 characters, and I even gave Diablo 3 the college try, I really did. But when your entire build comes down to RNG drops, you're almost totally dependent on whatever items the good Lord decides to give you.
The Lord told me to tell you!
Diablo Immortal isn't as much of a game as it is just a money printing system for Blizzard. It's a game they barely have to support, they barely have to add content to now, and everyone that's playing it is probably adding money in. but you have to give the bastards credit. They've done it right. They took Diablo and dumbed it down to a point where even your mom can play it.
Yeah, that's what your mom said last night.
There's zero skill involved, and it's really pretty. It runs really well on an old phone. Sadly, the best way to describe it is a slot machine with a storyline. Okay, I'm out.
Peace.